Hello everyone. Welcome to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving. In today's lecture, we will discuss the practice questions from logical reasoning. Now, before we start, we should revise certain concepts. The first concept is of odd and even numbers. So, what is the difference between odd and even numbers? Odd numbers, the last digit, or you can say the unit place digit. This is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Similarly, for even numbers, this is 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Then you should know what are prime numbers. Correct? Prime numbers you should know at least for 1 to 100. Okay, between 1 to 100 there are 25 prime numbers. So they start with 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and so on. Okay, then you should know squares and square roots of at least 1 to 30. So if you look at the numbers, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, and so on. Square root means that if you see a number 81, you should be able to tell, okay, 81 square root is 9. Okay, if you see a number, let's say 169, you should be able to tell, okay, square root of 169 is 13. Similarly, you should know cubes and cube root also from 1 to 15 or 1 to 20. So 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27, 4 cube is 64, 5 cube is 125, and so on. Similarly, when you see a number, okay, 1331, you should know, okay, this is the cube root of 11. Correct? If you see a number, let's say 64, you should be able to say, okay, this is cube root of 4. Correct? Now, if you look at this number, 64 and 729, these two are numbers that are both perfect squares and perfect cubes. Okay, so 64, this is 8 square, but this is also 4 cube. Similarly, 729 is 27 square, but this is also 9 cube. Okay, so you should know the difference between squares and cubes and all this information to solve such questions. Now let us look at question number 1. Question number 1, 4 options are given to us. Three of the following 4 are similar in a certain way. We have to find the odd one out. Odd one out means we have to find the one that is different from the rest. Correct? So if you look at these questions, 198, 981, 132, 321, 954 and 549, and 246 and 426. So one thing I can see over here, I have 1 over here and 1 over here. So this is the first place and this is the third place. Correct? And the digits remains the same. Similarly, I see 1 over here, 1 over here. This is the first place and this is the third place. Correct? And the digits remains the same. Similarly, I can see 9 over here. So this is the first place and this is the third place, and these digits remain the same. Now when I look over here, I can see 2 at the first place. So this number should be 4, 6 and then 2, where 2 is at the third place. This should be the number which would follow the exact same pattern. But this number does not follow the same pattern as others. Therefore, this one will be the odd one out. Option number 3 will be the correct answer to this question. Clear? Now let us move on to question number 2. We are given 4 options and we have to identify which of them is the odd one out. So 255, 212, 124 and 268. So when I look at these numbers, just by looking at them, I can see this is a odd number. This one is a even number. This one is also a even number. and this one is also a even number. So what are odd and even number? Basically, the last digit, if we talk about in even number, the last digit are 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. This we have already studied in very preliminary classes in our school. Odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So we know these are all even numbers. This is the only odd number. Therefore, option number 1, 255 will be the correct answer. This will be the odd one out. Clear? Question number 3. So question number 3, 4 options are given to us and we have to find the one that is different, that is odd one out. So when I look at these, I can see this is very close to 121. 121 is the square of 11. So I can say that if this is A and this is B, A square plus 1 is giving me B. I can say this. This is the logic. Let's see. 11 square plus 1. So 11 square is 121 plus 1 will give me 122. Okay. Let's do the same logic for option number 3. It will be 4 square plus 1. So 4 square is 16 plus 1 will give me 17. So this logic follows for option number 3 as well. Over here also I can see 5 square plus 1 will be 25 plus 1, that is 26. So this logic follows for option number 4 as well. Now let us look at option number 2. Option number 2 should be 13 square plus 1. 13 square is how much? 169. And if I add 1 into it, it will be 170 and not 175. So this is the one that is different. This is the one that does not follow the same logic of a square plus 1 equals to b. Therefore, option number 2 will be the odd one out. Clear? Now let us look at question number 4. So 4 options and we have to find the one that is odd one out. So we have 2628, 1568, 1432 and 2514. Okay, so when I look at these numbers, I can see that these numbers probably will be divisible by 4. These numbers will be divisible by 4. What is the divisibility rule of 4? What is the divisibility rule of 4? This you should know that the last two digits or the end two digits should be divisible by 4. Or they should be the last two digits should be 0 0. So whenever you get any year like 1900, 1400, 1600, all these years, all these values are divisible by 4 because they have 0 in the end. And when you get numbers like this, you have to check just for the last two values. So if I look over here, this 28, 4 into 7, so this is divisible by 4. Similarly, if I divide this by 4, this will be 1, 2, 8, then 7. So this is also divisible by 4. 14 into 17 will give me 68. Correct? Here also if I divide it by 4, I'll get 8. Correct? But here this 14 is not divisible by 4. Now let us check by dividing the entire number also. Okay. So just by checking the divisibility rule, I can say this is not divisible by 4. But let us check. For 2628, I am dividing it by 4. Correct? So this will be how much? 4, 6 times will give me 24. I'll get 2, I'll get 2. Then 4, 5 times will give me 20. So I'll get 2 and then I'll drop down 8. So 7 times will give me 28. So this is completely divisible by 4. Now let us check for 1568. 1568. So if I divide it by 4, 4 3 times will give me 12. 3 and then 6. Correct? So I know that if I have to say, I'll say that, or I can say 9 4 times will give me 36, correct? Then I'll have 8, this will be 0, and 2 times will give me 8, correct? So this is also completely divisible. Now let me check for 1 4 3 2. So 1 4 3 2 divisible by 4. 4 3s will give me 12, 2, then 3, 4 5s will give me 20, 3, and then 2, and 4 8s will give me 32. So I'll get 0 remainder over here also. Now if I check for 2514. So if I check for 2514, if I divide it by 4, I'll get how much? 4 6 times will give me 24. I'll get 1 and 1. 4 2 times will give me 8. I'll get 3 and I'll get 4. And 34 is not divisible by 4. So we actually didn't have to do all this. You can just check by divisibility rule. You should be aware about the divisibility rule of a number. Okay, so if you know the divisibility rule, you would not have to spend so much time doing long division. Just by looking at these last two digits, you could say that okay, this is 4 into 7, this is 4 into 17, and this is 4 into 8. So these numbers are divisible by 4, but this particular number, because 14 is not divisible by 4, therefore this one is different. This one is odd one out. Clear? Now let us look at question number 5. So question number 5, 4 options are given to us and we have to identify the one that is odd one out. So if I look over here, again a square plus 1 equals to b I can get. How? This is a, this is b. So 4 square plus 1. So 16 plus 1 will give me 17. Similarly over here I can see 7 square plus 1. So 49 plus 1 will give me 50. Correct? Over here 5 square plus 1, that means 25 plus 1 will give me 26. But when I look over here, 6 square plus 1, so 6 square plus 1 means 36 plus 1 should give me 37 and not 35. This is a square minus 1 equals to b. That is the logic being used over here. So this one follows a different logic. Therefore our answer will be option number 3. Okay, clear? Now let us look at question number 6. So question number 6, again 4 options are given to us and we have to identify which of them will be the odd one out. So in these 4 options, the first thing that I can see is that all these options are divisible by 3 except 1. So what is the divisibility rule of 3? This you should know. Divisibility rule of 3. So divisibility of rule of 3 says that the sum of the digits of a number should be divisible by 3. This is what divisibility rule of 3 says, that the sum of the numbers should be divisible by 3. So when I look over here, 3 plus 6 gives me 9. Okay, plus 0 also. So 3 plus 6 plus 0 gives me 9 and 9 is divisible by 3. Correct? 2 plus 3 plus 1 will give me 6 and 6 is also divisible by 3. Correct? 3 plus 4 plus 0 will give me 7. This is not divisible by 3. And when I look at 1 plus 2 plus 3, again this will be equal to 6. That means it is divisible by 3. Okay. So out of these options, I can see that 3 options. Option number 1, 2 and 4 are divisible by 3. Only option number 3 is not divisible by 3. Therefore, this will be the odd one out. Now let us look at question number 7. So question number 7, 4 options are given to us and we have to identify which of them is the odd one out. So when I look over here, 196, correct? 196 is the square of 14. This is 14 square. Okay. When I look at 224, I can see a number 225. 225 is 15 square. Minus 1 is giving me 224. Similarly, when I look over here, 529 is a number which is close to 528, and 529 is basically 23 square. So when I reduce 1 from it, I am getting 528. Similarly, when I look at 360 over here, I can see a number 361. 361 is the square of 19. So when I reduce 1 from 361, I am getting 360. Correct? So in each of the cases, we had a square root or a square perfect square number. Perfect square number minus 1. Correct? We had perfect square number minus 1, but in option number 1 we did not have such pattern. Therefore, option number 1 will be the odd one out. Clear? Now, moving on to question number 8. Question number 8, I can see 8 138, 5 155, 6 174 and 11 143. Now when I look at this 155 by 5, so I can clearly see that 155 is divisible by 5. So I'll get 31. Similarly, when I see 143 and 11, I know that 143 is divisible by 11. I will get 13. Correct? Similarly, when I look at 174, I know it is divisible by 6, because 6 2 times will give me 12, right? 5 over here, it will give me 29. Correct? But when I look over here 138, if I divide it by 8, okay, 8 1 times will give me 8. I'll get how much? I'll get 5 and I'll get 8. Correct? And 8 7 times will give me 56. So I'll get I'll get 2 as the remainder. So if I'm getting 2 as the remainder, that means it is not completely divisible by 8. In each of these cases, the second number was divisible by the first number, correct? This is divisible by 5, this is divisible by 11, and this is divisible by 6. But in this case, in option number 1, the number is not completely divisible. Therefore, option number 1 is the odd one out. Okay. Now, over here, I told you a shortcut of multiplying any number by 11. So, let's say you have a number called 64 and you have to multiply it by 11. So, the first thing you do is write the thing at the unit place. Let's say the number is 54. Okay. So, the first thing you write is the number at the unit place. Then you add these numbers. So, 5 plus 4 will give me 9. And then you will write this number, which is 5. So, 54 into 11 will be 594. This is a short trick with multiplication of 11. Okay. Now, let us look at question number 9. So, question number 9, 4 options are given to us and we have to identify which of them is different. Now, when I look at these options, I can see that, okay, so let me try 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3. So, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus 4 is how much? 10 plus 4 is 14, 14 plus 2 is 16. So, I am getting 16 over here. So, this is minus 2 from 18, correct? Now, let us look over here. 7 plus 0 plus 5 plus 2. So, when I look over here, 7 plus 7 is 14, 14 plus 5 is 19 and 19 plus 2 is 21. Correct? So, this number is the same. So, either of the two logics will follow. Either the numbers will be the same or the numbers will be reduced by 2. So, let us check over here. 2 plus 6 plus 5 plus 8 plus 4. So, 6 plus 4 is 10, correct? 8 plus 2 is 10. So, 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. So, over here also the numbers are the same. Now, if I look at this option, 8 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5. So, when I look at this option, I can see 8 plus 2 is 10, 5 plus 5 is 10. So, 10 plus 10 is 20 and 20 plus 4 is 24. So, these numbers are also the same. So, in option number 1, 3 and 4, we had the same. The second number was basically the sum of the digits of the first number. But this was not the case in option number 2. Therefore, this will be the odd one out. Clear? Now let us move on to question number 10. So 4 options again are given to us and we have to find out which of them is different. So again, if I look over here, I can see that 11 into 13 gives me 143. Similarly, if I look over here, 23 and 19. So, 23 and 667. So when I look at 23 and 667, if I try to divide them, I'll get 29. So 23 into 29 gives me 667. Okay. Now when I look over here, 19 and 475. So when I look over here, I can see that 19 will not have a 475 as multiple, but 19 into 23 will give me 420 or 437. Okay, and when I look over here, 17 and 327, I can clearly see that 17 into 19 will give me 323. Okay, so when I look over here, I can see that basically we are multiplying a prime number with the next prime number, correct? We are multiplying a prime number with the next prime number. So 11 and 13. Similarly, 23 and 29, 17 and 19. But over here in option number 3, if we multiply 19 by the next prime number, that is 23, we will get 437. So this is the odd one out. Therefore, option number 3 will be the correct answer to this question. Clear? Question number 11. So question number 11, again 4 options are given to us and we have to identify which of them is the odd one out. So in question number 11, I can see if I sum these 6 plus 4 plus 3. So it will be 13. 5 plus 5 plus 7. So 5 plus 5 is 17. 5 plus 6 plus 3. So 5 plus 5 is 6 plus 5 is 11 plus 3 14 and 6 plus 7 plus 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 6 is how much? It is 20. Correct? Now when I look over here, I cannot figure out because these two are how much? This is odd and these two are even. So I can't figure out the difference, the odd one out. But now let me sum them more. So if I do 1 plus 3, come to a single digit, I will get 4. If I sum 1 plus 7, come to a single digit, I will get 8. Similarly, if I sum 1 plus 4 and come to a single digit, I'll get 5. And 2 plus 0 will give me 2. So now I can see that 4, 8 and 2, these are even sums, correct? If we sum the digits to a single digit, we are getting even sums. But in this case, this is odd, correct? So my odd one out will be option number 3. Okay. Moving on to question number 12. So question number 12, again 4 options are given to us and we have to identify the odd one out. So when I get big numbers, the first thing I try to do is sum them and see. So if I sum them, 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, how much will I get? 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 1, 9. Okay. If I sum this, 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 9. So 9 plus 4 will be how much? 13 and 13 plus 2 will be equal to 15. Similarly, if I plus this, 8 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1. So I'll get 10 and 7 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So 6 plus 4 will be 10 and 10 and 7 plus 5 is 12. So 10 plus 12 will be 22. So in these cases, 10, 10, 22, 22 and 15, 15, these are the same. Right? These are the same. But over here we have a reduction by minus 3. Therefore, option number 1 is the odd one out. It does not follow the same logic as the others. Okay? Moving on to question number 13. Question number 13, again 4 options are given to us and we have to identify the odd one out. Odd one out means the different from the rest. So when I look over here, I can see that 121 is basically 11 square. Similarly, 169 is 13 square. 289 is 17 square. But the square of 15 is 225 and not 250. So basically, if this is A, this is B, if we are squaring A, we are getting B. A square is giving me B. But this is not the case in option number 1. Therefore, option number 1 will be the odd one out because it does not follow the same logic as the others. So my answer will be option number 1. Clear? Now let us look at question number 14. So again, 4 options are given to us and we have to find the odd one out. So when I look over here, 30 and 94, I can see that if I multiply 30 by 3 and add 4 into it, so that will give me 90 plus 4, I'll get 94, correct? If I look over here, 44 into 3 plus 4, so 44 into 3, this will be 12 and this will be 132, plus 4 will give me 136, correct? So if this is A, this is B, A into 3 plus 4 is giving me B, correct? A into 3 plus 4 is giving me B. This is true for option number 2 and 4. Now let us check for option number 3. So option number 3, 27 into 3 plus 4. So 27 into 3, this will be 2 and 81 plus 4 will give me 85. So this logic follows for option number 3 as well. Now let us check for option number 1. It should be 33 into 3 plus 4. So 33 into 3 will be 99 plus 4 will be 103. 103 and not 109. Therefore, this is the odd one out. This one is different from the rest. Clear? Now let us look at question number 15. So question number 15, 4 options are given to us and we have to identify which one is different. Over here, if I see 16 and 20. So basically, 16 and 20, if I add, okay, I'll get 36. And under root of 36 will give me 6. Correct? Similarly, if I look over here, 4 plus 5 will give me 9. And under root of 9 will give me 3. So if this is A and this is B and this is C, basically A plus B and the under root of their sum is giving me C, correct? In this fraction, I have considered the numerator to be E and denominator to be B, correct? So A plus B and the under root of the sum is giving me C. This is true for option number 1 and for option number 2. Now if I look over here, 30 plus 51 will be 81 and under root of 81 will be 9. So this is true for option number 4 as well. But when I look at option number 3, 25 plus 41, so this will be how much? 66. And do we have a under root of 66 to be 8? No. The under root of 64 is equals to 8. This will be 8 point something. Okay. Therefore, this is the odd one out which does not follow the same logic as others. Therefore, my correct answer will be option number 3. So this concludes today's lecture. Thank you.